Hi everyone, my name is Megan and I work at Michael's and I am here today to show you how to make this very cute craft stick penguin. So thanks for coming to Winter Workshop. We're excited to see you. We hope that you stay and do all the crafts with us. There are lots of videos for you to watch. There are directions for you online. There's lots of ways for you to play along with us for Winter Workshop. But today we're going to make this very cute, very wiggly penguin using craft sticks. So I'm going to switch over here to my other. There we go. And I'm going to tell you about some of the different materials you're going to need for this class. So I want you to have craft sticks, and you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you have 10, that would be perfect. You're going to want paintbrush and some black and white paint. Those are the only two colors you really need because we're going to paint this penguin and then we're going to use something else for the other parts. Then you can also have some wiggle eyes. So if you have any wiggle eyes, that would be lovely. You're definitely going to want some glue. I like using the white glue. You might be able to use the glue stick too, but either one of these should work. I'm definitely going to want a pair of scissors. I'm going to want a paintbrush. And then the last thing you're going to need to make this penguin really pop is you're going to want some adhesive foam. So adhesive foam means it's sticky on the back. It's like a big sticker. So we'll cut out some pieces of this foam and then we'll put them onto our popsicle stick penguin or craft stick. So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to line up our popsicle sticks. 2 of them I want you to put off to the side, and the other 8 you're going to try and make into a straight line as best you can. You're going to line these up. You can kind of take something that's already straight and push those against it to make them straight too. There you go. And then we're going to take a popsicle stick and we're going to go across. This reminds me of like a fence or like a gate, if you've ever seen a gate that looks like this. So I'm going to take this white craft glue and I'm going to put it all up and down on this craft stick. There we go. And then I'm going to put it diagonally across my group of craft sticks. And if anybody gets out of line, you can still wiggle them. There's still time until the glue dries to kind of wiggle them around and line them up the best that you can. And you don't need to hold it down the whole time, but you might want to hold it down at the beginning. And then I'm going to do something a little wacky. I'm going to crack this in half. Now, this might be a little bit dangerous. So if you have a grown-up nearby, maybe they can crack this stick for you. But I'm going to crack it in half. And I'm going to be careful because it can be a little bit sharp and a little bit splintery. It is made out of wood. But I cut it in half or cracked it in half so that I could have some extra pieces to make like a letter Z or a backwards letter Z, depending on how you're looking at this. I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to put my craft glue, this white glue, up and down on this popsicle stick or craft stick. And this is going to help me keep it nice and secure because I'm going across more of these sticks, keeping them in place. I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm going to put my line of glue. And I'm going to lay this one down across as many of them as I can just to kind of keep everybody in shape. Now, I'm going to gently wiggle mine around the paper to make sure that the glue didn't make it stick to my paper. And you might notice that I am working on a big piece of paper. If you have some newspaper or maybe a paper plate or something like that, just so that you don't get the table all messy, it's nice to work on something that you can throw away at the end or you can clean up. And it's easier than cleaning up on the table. So far, I put 8 popsicle sticks together. I tried to keep them in a line as best I could. And then I made a diagonal stick going, touching all of the sticks so that it would kind of hold it. And then I broke a stick in half and put it on these two pieces. Now this is still drying, so I'm very, very carefully going to flip this over. If you start to flip yours and it's falling apart, don't flip it yet. Wait a little bit longer until it dries before you flip yours over. So I feel like mine is doing pretty good. It's sticking together pretty nicely so far. And so I'm going to go ahead and start looking at my next step. And my next step is going to be to start painting. Now, if you're painting a white belly and you're painting the rest of the penguin black, you probably don't want to start with the black part, because if you get a lot of black all over the place and then you try to paint white over top of it, it's not going to work so good. But if you paint some white and you accidentally go out of the lines when you're painting on the white, the black will cover it up. So we're going to do the white paint first, and then we're going to do the black paint. So I have these acrylic paints. So if you have something like this, or maybe you have them in a pouch, or maybe you have them in something called a palette, and maybe the pouch, you can squeeze some in here, or maybe a grown-up can help you put some of this, a little bit of the colors into a palette like this. That would be nice, especially if you're sharing with someone else. It's nice to not keep dipping out of the same jar. You could each have your own palette. So that would be a nice idea. Since it's just me crafting today, I have my black paint and my white paint, and I'm just gonna paint straight out of these jars. So sometimes they get kind of watery, so you might need to shake it up just a little bit, and you definitely want to shake it up before you open it, not after you open it. That would be a disaster. So I'm just shaking it up just a little bit, and when I open this up, we'll see how it looks. Let's see, ready? Oh, there's a safety little knob keeping it in, so I need to take that off. Ooh, nice. So this is the first time I've ever used this paint, so I had to take off that extra seal. This looks ready to go. This looks really good. I'm going to seal that back up because I don't want to spill it, because I need to open my black. And it has a little seal too, so I'm using my fingernails to carefully pull this little film up. Ooh, and then be careful because this has paint all over it. So I'm carefully putting it onto another piece of paper off to the side. Now, do you remember which color I said we should go first? I think we're going to go ahead and start with the white. We're going to paint the white belly, and then if we make any mistakes, the black will take care of it. So we're going to start with the white. I have a little paintbrush. Something like this is nice. And the shape of the belly kind of looks like an oval that gets cut off at the bottom. So I'm going to take a little bit of paint on my paintbrush, and I'm going to paint the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inside sticks. And I'm going to leave that outside stick so that there's a little bit of black on each side. And then you're going to want the belly to go about halfway up. So if we want the belly to go halfway up, this is where you're going to want to start curving it. So I didn't worry the first time I did it about getting all my paint. I just kind of made my outline as best I could. I'm going to move this up so you can see it. So I went up, I started making a little bit of a curve, and then came back down here. And I'm leaving this stick and this stick blank because I'm going to paint those in black, like this penguin. Now I'm going to make sure that I get all my color in there. So now that I have the shape, I'm going to add some extra paint. And I like to paint up and down, like some big strokes. But if you want to paint side to side or even in a circle, that's fine too. Very nice. Looking good so far. So the other parts that are on our penguin, besides this white paint and the black paint, are some wiggle eyes and some foam for the beak, for the little feet, and some foam for the little penguin arms. So I don't know if you can see this, but those arms aren't painted on, we're just gonna paint this white, like it looks like a drawbridge for like a castle door or something. And then we're gonna paint the black, and then we're gonna put the foam on top of that after it dries. So I'm gonna do just a little bit more white so I can try and make it a little bit darker if I can. And you can keep putting white paint and letting it dry and putting some more white paint to keep making it a more solid white. They call it in art opaque, meaning you can't really see through it. Okay. And then I need to switch to do my black, but I have a lot of white stuff on my paintbrush. So what we want to do is maybe you have a little cup of water and you can put your paintbrush into the water. And then I'm going to paint on my piece of paper, and make sure it's a piece of paper that you don't want anymore. And if you have a paper towel or a piece of paper, you can just paint, 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 paint. And that's kind of drying your brush and kind of getting the white off of your brush. And you can keep going until you don't see anything show up. And then you're just about ready to switch colors. So I'm going to put the lid on this one because I do not want to spill. And then I'm going to open up my black paint. And when I'm doing my black paint, I'm going to do this first stick, this last stick, and then the top part where it's not white yet. Now, what happens if I mix my black and my white paint together? Do you know? It's going to turn gray. So I'm going to try to keep this part black and the other part white. But if I get a little bit of gray in the middle, that's not terrible. Did you see that? I almost got a little bit of gray down here. It's okay. Oop. I'm going to paint this popsicle stick, craft stick. Good thing I have this paper underneath because I'm starting to make a little bit of a mess. And then remember that this part, the top of the belly is kind of curved. So I'm going to make kind of a curve shape. That looks good. And this black covered really nicely. So I'm not going to need very much of the black paint. And if I made any spots white, I can always go over them in black. And I can keep making the lines thicker if I need to cover up any mistakes. Or make a different looking penguin, that's okay too. Your penguin could have stripes if you want. I could leave like some of those colors in there if I wanted to. All right, that's looking pretty good. So this needs to dry a little bit before we can put our foam stickers on. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my brush and close up my paint. So I closed up my paint. I'm putting my brush into the water. I'm kind of painting the bottom of my cup with my paintbrush because that's helping me get some of that black paint out of my brush. I'm kind of brushing the side of the cup, brushing the bottom of the cup. You can tell that I'm getting some of the black paint off because it's changing the color of my water. And then you can dry it on a paper towel or on your piece of paper. And you keep going until you can't really see the black paint anymore. And then you know that you're pretty good. So I can't really see it that much anymore. So I think this is okay for now. All right. So next I'm going to go to my foam and I'm going to cut out some penguin wings and I'm going to cut out some penguin feet and a beak. So the wings are going to be on the black adhesive foam. So there's two different sides of the adhesive foam. There's the part that has the sticker underneath and there's the part that has the foam. I'm going to flip it over so that I can see this back part. And I'm going to try to draw some wings. So here we go. The way I'm going to draw this wing is I'm going to do kind of like an eyeball. So like if you hold it this way, it looks like an eyeball. or if you hold it like this, it looks this way. And I'm going to cut that one. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut out that first shape. There we go. That looks kind of like a little penguin flipper if you ask me. And then if you have one shape that you like and you kind of like how that's going, then you can put it down on your adhesive foam again, and you can trace it so that they're going to be the same on both sides. So I'm tracing this one, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut that one out. And then I'm going to have two little flipper fins for my penguin, because penguins are technically birds, but I've never seen a penguin fly before, even though it has wings. So here we go. Two little penguin wings are ready to go. And then I'm going to make some penguin feet, and I'm going to make a little penguin beak, and then we're going to put it all together. So the way you're going to make penguin feet is by cutting half circles. So I'm going to flip over to the other side so that you can see it a little bit better when I draw it. But I'm going to draw half of a circle, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where I'm going to cut this one out and make sure that I like it. And if I like it, then I'm going to cut out exactly the same shape by tracing the same one. So do I like that? I think it's a little bit big, so I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. My penguin is going to have small, dainty feet. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to trace it on my foam so that I have two of the same feet. I'm tracing this and I'm cutting it out. There we go. So now I have 2 feet, I have 2 wings, and I need 1 beak. So you're going to cut a triangle shape for that 1 beak. So let's see. I'm going to draw a triangle on this paper, on this adhesive foam. And I'm going to see if I think that's the right size. So I'm going to cut that out. Cutting out this foam. Seeing if I like that penguin beak. Oh yeah, I love that penguin beak. That's perfect. Okay, now be careful because I don't think this is totally dry. I still see a little bit of wetness in there, but it is pretty close to being dry. So I'm going to move these pieces off, and I'm going to give myself a fresh piece of paper to show you my final penguin reveal. So we next need a pair of eyeballs. So I think with eyes, the bigger, the better. So I'm going to pick the biggest, silliest eyes I can find. And those look good to me. So sometimes when you get wiggle eyes, sometimes they have stickers on the back of them. I don't think these ones do. So if they have stickers, you can take them off and then just press them on. But I think mine, I'm going to need my craft glue again, or even your glue stick. Now I'm going to very carefully, yep, I think I'm going to be just about ready to put these on without it getting messy. So here I go. I'm going to take this wiggle eye and I'm going to put some glue on the back of it. And I'm going to plop it down. That's so big. I like that my eyes are even bigger than this one I made before. And then I'm going to put some glue on the other eye. And you can make the eyes close together. You can put them further apart. Right now it looks like, it just looks like it's screaming, right? It doesn't look like a penguin yet. It just looks like it's screaming. So we'll help it, don't worry. And then I'm going to put these wings. So on the first time I did the penguin, I cut the sides so that they had like a flat end. So if you want to do that, you can, but I actually kind of like this little flipper action I got going on here, just the way they are. So in order to use this adhesive foam, you're going to take the white paper off the back, and then it reveals a sticker. And I'm going to put this sticker, boop, to make that flipper. I'm going to take off this sticker, and I'm going to make this flipper. Boop. Cute. Now, when we have feet and a beak, it's going to look much more like a penguin. So I'm going to add the feet next. There's one foot. And here's another foot. And penguin beak. Finishing touch. Here we go. Oh yeah. Now that looks like a penguin. I'm pretty proud of that. So I hope you're proud of your penguin too. Then they can go hang out somewhere together. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. Thanks. How are you? Also good. Thank you. So I'm so glad that you came to Winter Workshop today to make our craft stick penguin. And I hope that you come back for more of our Winter Workshop crafts and that you can watch the videos, you can buy all the supplies and try all the different crafts that we have during Winter Workshop. So we'll see you next time. Bye.